Okay, so in this video, we're going to be looking at an interesting technique that goes against everything that I've just taught you about phasing and the problems that it can cause, and using phase issues in the left and right speakers to create width. It's called the Haas effect. The Haas effect is essentially something that happens in nature where, for example, something that's coming from your left obviously is going to hit your left ear before, it's like slightly before it hits your right ear, okay? So it's giving us some direction as to where a sound is coming from. We can use this psychoacoustic effect to enhance the stereo width of a sound there. Now, this is going to most likely cause some phasing issues. So if you're using this technique, use it sparingly, but also bear in mind and check your sound in mono. Make sure it's compatible first before you use it in your mix. Unless you're obviously not going to have stuff that's playing in clubs, or you want to use this effect for some reason. Okay, so just be mindful of that before you use this one. All right, so what I've got here is this Mentasm sound that I made. If you saw my Ableton stock plugins course, it's the same Mentasm sound that I built in that. Just to make sure it's coming out mono out of here, which I'm pretty sure it is anyway, but I've just put this utility and made it mono. And I'm sending this signal itself isn't coming out, it's just going to my sends. And I'm sending this to these returns here on a left and right. So I have hard panned one left and hard panned one right here. Okay, so on this first channel, I've just done a little bit of EQing just randomly because I wanted to differentiate the two channels with the sort of tonal qualities the two channels are giving them, just to give them some more separation. And this one just has a bit of a low cut there. So what we're going to do this effect, you need a delay. You can use a traditional normal delay or echo or something like that, or you can use a specific time delay effect used for aligning phase and things like that. Like in the previous video, we looked at the in phase. You could use that for doing this effect as well. Okay, so I've just got our normal Ableton delay. And this technique only works within the range of about 1 millisecond up to about 35 milliseconds. Anything higher than that, and we can perceive the delay as a delay rather than as this stereo effect, okay? So let me play you back the sound without any processing on it, and then with, and we'll see what happens. Okay, there's my Mentasm, an octave lower. Cool, sounds great, but let's say I want this to be a bit wider, okay, and just make it a big, huge sound that takes up the whole space. So let's engage the delay, and I'll cycle through the delay time here and give you an idea of what's happening. Okay, so notice how when I turn the delay off, it just goes back to the mono signal, but if I turn it on, we get that stereo width. And as you can see, if I go beyond that 35 millisecond mark and up into here, we actually get that sort of pitch fluctuation effect, so we can actually perceive the delay as a delay rather than as this stereo effect. Okay, now, like I said, that's actually going to cause problems with our phase. So let's have a look at our correlation meter and see what it's doing. So yeah, we're getting a lot of this information happening in these areas here and also down here. So yes, like I said, this goes against what I've told you before about making sure your mixes are phase compatible with when you go to mono. but it's a really cool tool for making your sounds wider. So if you want those to be compatible, you can always go and play with the delay time here to see how that has an effect on the phase and the stereo effect. Oh, and another thing, make sure that your feedback is at 0 and that your mix is 100% wet. And I've only got the delay on one channel, okay, not 2. All right, so you can see, yeah, wherever I have that, I'm getting some problems with phase. So when I hit the mono button, you're probably going to see or hear some frequencies start to disappear. So you noticed how when I move these around, we got that sort of phasing effect, and we're getting different frequencies cancel out as I move through this delay time. And you can use that to sort of shape what frequencies you actually want to drop out. So you might hit a point where you go, okay, I'm happy with that. I've got that sounding great in stereo, and that's as mono compatible as I want that sound, because that sounds fine to me. And if you're happy with that, then that's cool. You're still getting that really great stereo spread, and it's mono compatible to your liking, okay? But you could also try and flip the phase of maybe the right channel here and see if that makes any difference as well. Let's see. Yeah, so you get these certain sweet spots where when we're summing that to mono, where it sounds better and it's got more weight. So just play around with it and see what works for you. But that's the Haas effect. I hope you enjoy that one, and I will see you over in the next video.